Okay, so today we're gonna do a little review on the Damian Marley and Nas song called Sabali. Now, when I decided to start this was when I realized it was a sampling of a song done by Amadou and Miriam. So before we play Damian and Nas's version, let's get about 30 seconds to a minute of the original or of where it came from.
Bonjour, c'est Delphine, le répondeur de Mariam. Et c'est votre message après je vous appelle. Merci. Merci, bye.
Okay, so we can stop right there because it's nothing much else to the song, really. Um, just something to note though. It is said that it's from Bambara language, which is one of the language of Mali. But Mali actually is a country in Africa that have many different languages. And I was told that when they had their independence, they didn't want to use one of their languages to be the national language because they didn't want any infights or any problems regarding that. So what they did was to use an outside language. So Mali's official language or national language is actually French, which is why when at the beginning of this you would have heard bonjour in the beginning of this clip. So yeah, so a little bit of history right there. Now let's go into the song by Nas and Damian Marley, and we can do a bit of dissecting, but I'll just let the song play out and I'll put up the words and you can read it as it goes, as the song plays. Okay, let me start over.
Here we are. Here we are. This one right here is for the people.
By the way, sabali means patience, and it said that it means have patience and also something about being forgiving. Okay, let's continue.
Hey, yo, D. Let's go all the way in on this one.
Some of the smartest dummies can't read the language of Egyptian mummies. And a fly go a moon and Can't find food for the starving tummies. Pay no mind to the youths, cause it's not like the future depends on it. We say the animals in the zoo, cause the chimpanzee, them a make big money. This is how the media villages, on TV the picture is savages and villages, and the scientists still can't explain the pyramids. Evangelists making a living on the videos of ribs of the little kids, stereotyping the image of the images, and this is what the image is. You buy a car, key points, and all of a sudden you are say that Indiana Jones. And I keep out the gold and keep out the scrolls and even the bird bones. Some of the worst paparazzis I've ever seen and I ever known. With the words on this place that the world can see and that's all that will ever show. So the ones in the west will never move east and feel like a be a town. Get tricked by the beast, but the way them a go flee when the monster is fully grown. Solomonic lineage where them think can defeat and them could I never clown. A spiritual DNA that prints in my soul and I will forever own, Lord.
Sabali, that's patience. What the old folks told me. Can you give it that? Discovering in a world before this world, a world buried in time, uncovered with rhymes. It gets no realer.
We born unknowing, are we born knowing all? We growing wiser, are we just growing tall? Can you read thoughts? Can you read palms? Can you predict the future? Can you see storms coming? The earth was flat, if you went too far, you would fall off. Now the earth is round, if the shape change again, everybody would have stopped laugh. The average man can't prove of most of the things that he chooses to speak of. And still run research and find out the root of the truth that you seek of. Scholars teach in universities and claim that they're smart and cunning. Tell them find a cure when we sneeze and that's when their nose start running. And the rich get stitched up when we get cut. Wanna heal them broken bones in the bush with a wet mud. Can you resize? Can you restart? Can you make peace? Can you fight war? Can you make house? Even though you drive cars, can you survive against all odds now?
It's crazy. When you feed people the truth, you don't know how they gonna react. You're scared of wrongdoers, people that's just ignorant, and scared of the truth. Be patient for now. Who wrote the Bible? Who wrote the Quran? And was it a lightning storm that gave birth to the earth and then dinosaurs were born? Who made up words? Who made up numbers? And what kind of spell is mankind under? Everything on the planet we preserve and can it. Microwave it and try it, no matter what, we'll survive it. What's you? What's man? What's human? Anything along the land we consuming. Eating, deleting, ruin. Trying to get paper. Gotta have land, gotta have acres. So I can sit back like Jack Nicholson, watch niggas play the game like the Lakers. In a world full of 52 fakers, gypsies, seances, mystical prayers. You superstitious, throw salt over your shoulders, make a wish for the day, cuz like somebody got a doll of me. Sticking needles in my artery, but I can't feel it. Sometimes it's like part of me, but I got a real big spirit. I'm fearless. Don't you try to grab hold of my soul. It's like a military soldier since 7 years old. I held real dead bodies in my arms, felt their body turn cold. Oh, why we born in the first place if this is how we gotta go? Dang. Goes to all the wisdom and knowledge seekers of the world. Sabali, patience. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Now let's get right
Here
into
we
it.
are. Here we are.
Can't read the language of Egyptian mummies and a flag over moon.
So, here is where it said, some of the smartest dummies, you know, can't read the language of Egyptian mummies and a fly-ground moon, and can't find food for the starving tummies. Pay no mind to the youths, cause it's not like the future depends on it. And what they're saying here to me is like, you can find millions of dollars to go to the moon, but you won't feed the kids. After all, it's not like they are the future. So you don't really see the kids as the future. What you see as the future is to spend however it costs to fly to the moon. Oh boy. Let's look at the other line.
Can't find food for the starving tummies. Pay no mind to the youths, cause it's not like the future depends on it. We'll save the animals in the zoo, cause the chimpanzee, them a make big money.
But save the animals in the zoo, cause the chimpanzee, them a make big money. When I sit down and I pondered this one, I was like, damn. Because what I get from this is that, and you see it, you have a set of people come out and them say, oh, these animals are endangered species, they need to be rescued. But like when Pennis says, save the animals in the zoo. Imagine, these animals are in the zoo. So therefore, they have somebody to take care of them, the zookeeper, the owner of the zoo, you know? Just like even if those animals were in the wild, they would have the nature, because nature is designed to take care of everything. And if left alone, they'll be okay. But let's look at the lines. Save the animals in the zoo. Now when him say, cause the chimpanzee them make big money, I would say, because the chimpanzees are the monkeys, which is us giving them the money. You know? Because them say, save the animals in the zoo. And then them set up a foundation, an organization for collect money from idiots for save animals in the zoo or wherever. And then when they check it out, people them will collect the money. Damien Marley in this case called them the chimpanzee. You know, that they are the ones making the money. But we the ones who giving them the money are the real chimpanzees, and we are the monkey. Anyway, let's continue.
This is how the media villages, on TV the picture is, savages and villages, and the scientists still can't explain the pyramids. Evangelists making a living on the videos of ribs of the little kids.
Now, let's go back to where it said, this is how the media pillages. This is how the media pillages. Now that word there means rape, plunder, rob, root up from one place to the next, take away by force. Yeah man, pillages. And you see who do it? Media. On the TV with the pictures, you know, showing that, hey, Africa is a desolate place. You don't want to go there, so they show the worst. And then they show pictures of kids and talk about how they're starving. And if you send $50 or $100, that can feed that family for a month or a week, and so on and so forth. See? And the scientists still can't explain the pyramids. Evangelists, okay, right here, evangelists making a living on the videos of the ribs of the little kids. So they use the media take the pictures of these kids, send it out, and asking for donations. And a lot of those donations not going where it's supposed to be going. I tell you. But I tell you, these guys, they really sat and did their work. You know, they really did their work when they penned all these lyrics. And I won't go into all the details of everything that's there, because trust me, if I really get into this, it is going to take hours. As these guys, they are deep. They're like the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, you know, together. Tell you. Okay, all right, let's continue.
Stereotyping the image of the images, and this is what the image is. You buy a car, keep on son, all of a sudden you are say like Indiana Jones. And I take out the gold and keep out the scrolls and even the bird bones. Some of the worst paparazzis I've ever seen and I ever known. With the words on the space of the world and see, and that's all that will ever show. So the ones in the west will never move east and feel like a beer town.
So the ones in the West, talking about like us in the West Indies and America and those places, will never move east, will never go back home to Africa because of all those bad publicities, the bad images that they put in the media about that country, you know, and feel like so we'll never move to the east and feel like we could be at home. But it's trick will get trick by the BC saying, but where we are go, flee go when the monster is fully grown, you know. And I believe what he's saying here is the whole thing about what is happening now, and it can be that which what is happening now with the whole thing about racism or race wars, the killings and all of those things that are happening in America especially. You know, it can be seen from that angle, but I believe it has something to do with the coming of the Antichrist. Because the Bible teaches that in time to come, we will be going back home. And it's like after we reach home, then they're going to form, they're going to join together the various countries to come and war against us. You know, so the monster, I think, is what will be fully grown then to come after us. Wow. And for those of you who don't understand Bible prophecy, you wouldn't understand this, or you won't understand this. You know? So if you want to look at it from the point of all the abuse that is happening to black people in America right now, being the monster, and that African Americans should be looking to go back home to Africa, but because they get tricked by the beast, as he's saying here, you know, they stay under the sufferation and don't want to go back home. You could look at it like that, but I rather to look at it from biblical perspective and that which is the coming of the Antichrist. All right, let's continue.
Get tricked by the beast, but the way them a go flee when the monster is fully grown. Solomonic lineage when them think can defeat and them coulda never clown.
Okay, Solomonic lineage, where them still can defeat and them coulda never clone. My spiritual DNA that print in my soul, and I will forever own. Now, now this one. How I see this is that, well, a lot of us, don't know who we are really. And so when he's saying these, when he's spitting these words, there are many that will say, yeah, Rasta, so yeah, I so always think. But yes, we are from that line. We are Jew. When you hear the word Jew, I'm sure you guys thinking about pale skin, blue eyed people. Not so. We are Hebrew. We are members of the 12th tribe. And because of the scattering and all of that, I can't tell which tribe I'm from. Don't know. Although they can tell you that there are certain tribes that came to Jamaica, which where I'm from. Some that went to, Trinidad and Tobago, some to America, and so on and so forth. But I can't really say which tribe I'm from, but I know that we are Hebrew. We are from the 12th tribe, and if we are Hebrew, then we are Jew, because we are from the same lineage where Christ came from. And when he came and walked the earth, he died not just to save us, but to save the world. But when he died, it was inscribed and placed above his head, King of the Jew. Right? So he was identified with us. Now when I hear people talking about Jew, and they're talking about light-skinned, blue-eyed persons being Jew, and I see these lines, can't defeat, and them could have never clone. Yeah, clone. Because persons are trying to take our place, are saying that they are, when they are not. My spiritual DNA, that's print in my soul, and I will forever own. So it doesn't matter who, wherever they are, saying that they are whatever. They can't clone our DNA. They can't clone our origin. And they can't take away from us what's rightfully ours. And for some of you that are still skeptical, let me leave you with this. The Bible teaches that the Jews were taken away via ships and sold into slavery. And there's a scripture that even mentioned that we were taken even unto the islands of the seas, which would mean Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Cuba, Barbados, so on and so forth. And America, although he wouldn't regard America as islands, but it's well known that some were taken to America. Now, when you refer to the pale-skinned, blue-eyed people as Jew and the persecution that they undergo, the Bible never talk about those that were taken via train and went to the gas chamber, concentration camp, and all of those things. So when you look at what the Bible says, taken away by ships onto the islands of the seas, and you look at the life of those that they say are Jews that were taken via train to concentration camp to be gassed. Two totally different story. So you go and as they say, do the maths. Let's continue.
Spiritually, I need that things in my soul, and I will forever own love.
Yeah. Sabali, that's patience. What the old folks told me. Can you give it that? Discovering the world before this world, a world buried in time. uncovered with rhymes. Gets no realer.
We born not knowing, are we born knowing all? We growing wiser, are we just growing tall? Can you read thoughts? Can you read palms? Can you predict the future? Can you see storms coming?
Alright, let's look at this one. Can you read thoughts? Can you read palms? Can you predict the future? Can you see storms coming? No. There are persons, you see, who are genuine in terms of reading signs. And then there are tricksters. Now you have some people that they can look in the atmosphere and tell if rain is going to fall, and even me to some extent, how the place smell and how the place look. But then you have some can go even further and tell you if there is a storm coming. Some watch the animals and tell you if it's going to flood or if there will be an earthquake and stuff like that. So you have people like those. But then now you have some that will pretend to be able to can read your life, read your thoughts, read your hand middle, and tell everything about you. And while they will take your palm, look into it, and tell you what is true about your life, they don't really know. And let me tell you how it works. When you are born, you are assigned a demon. Just like how the Lord has his angels that watches over us, that's assigned to us. Lucifer puts his demons around you too. Watch you from birth, come up, them know everything about you. Now you have a set of people them call medium. Now these people can communicate, they devote their life, they develop an art or whatever it is, or craft, in being able to communicate with these demons. What really happened is that the demon that is with them communicate with the one that is around you. And then that demon tell this one that is with this medium about you. And then all he do is just parrot what was told to him, to you. And then you're like in shock and awe. What? How know that? How they know this? How? And you're a believer. But you're actually tricked. Alright? Let me give you an instance from the Bible. Saul was told to kill out all the mediums. And there was one that he didn't kill. And when he wanted to know if he was going to die, he went and sought after this medium. And she, in thinking that she was going to trick Saul by having one of her demons mimic Samuel, when God stepped in the picture and decided to raise up the real Samuel, when she saw the real Samuel come up, she was frightened. So you see, if it was one of her demons that came up, she would have known. And she would have just play along. But when the real Samuel came up now, and everything bust out, because she never even know that it was Saul that approached her at the time. So when the real Samuel came up, she knew that, hey, something not right here, so. And the real Samuel this. And that was when she knew what was happening. So, them don't know nothing. Them a work with the demon and a trick people. Alright? Alright. Let's move on.
Can you see storms coming? The earth was flat, if you went too far, you can fall off. Now the earth is round, if the shape change again, everybody would have stopped laugh. The average man can't prove up most of the things that he chooses to speak of. And still run research and find out the root of the truth that you seek of. Scholars teach in universities and claim that they're smart and cunning. Tell them find a cure when we sneeze, and that's when they're now
Yeah. So you see, with all the technology and all your knowledge, and you go school and you learn this and you learn that, and yet still, God can use the simplest to do the most. See? And the rich get stitched up when they get cut. But yet still, you have a little man from in the bush who use wet mud and can heal broken bones. So, you see, when it comes to man before God, man is foolishness. The knowledge and the wisdom of man before God is foolishness. Because see, God just take a little man and just say, yo, mix up the dirty and the dirt there and maybe 2 leaf or so in it and put it on the broken bone and it heal. While you have to go get stitches and all sort of anesthesia to knock you out while you get stitched up and all sort of whatever. And I forgot spend a bag of money on it too because they make a art out of this thing. So they have to reclaim back some of them funds. When God basically do it, you have to say for free. Little or nothing. Foolishness. Vanity. Let's continue.
Can you resize? Can you restart? Can you make peace? Can you fight war? Can you make house? Even though you drive cars?
Yeah. And this is the next one. Can you milk cows even though you drive cars? Yeah, you have some people can do the most complex of things and the simple things just to survive. They can't do it. Serious. See that? Plain as day. Can you survive against all odds? And if or sometimes some people dead because them don't know simple survival tools. You put some people in the jungle and them never last a week, maybe never last a day. Because the simple survival tools, them don't know it. But you put them around a cell phone or a computer and them master it. You take away all that from them dead in the water. So what that I say? We are the foolishness basically. Yeah. We should first learn to master living with nature before you can branch out into anything else. And that is what counts. And that is why so many of us are so far away from the soil, so far away from farming the land. And that is why so many of us are dying, because they're killing us with synthetic food because we don't know the difference, because we're so far from nature and we can't take a seed and go in our backyard and plant it because we don't know that. All we know is a cell phone, our computer, and whatever else them teach us. Foolishness. Let's continue.
Can you survive against all odds now?
It's crazy. When you feed people the truth, you don't know how they gonna react.
Who wrote the Bible? Who wrote the Quran? And was it a lightning storm that gave birth to the earth and then dinosaurs were born? Who
Let's look at this again. Who wrote the Bible? Who wrote the Quran? And was it a lightning storm that gave birth to the earth and then dinosaurs were born? So this fellow now, Nas, who just entering the picture, his voice, asks the question, which I believe is a rhetorical question. Who wrote the Bible? Who wrote the Quran? Must God, you know? And was it a lightning storm that gave birth to the earth and then dinosaurs were born. Which here, so I believe he was now saying, all right, so was it God who created this world, or was it an accident? Because he asks who wrote the Bible and the Quran. And if God is the one who wrote the Bible, and that means what is in the Bible, then I saw it go. And if he wrote the Bible, one of the things that's in the Bible is that he created the world and all therein. So if he write the Bible and create the world and all therein, why we gonna even think about, this great big explosion, as Nas put it, a lightning storm that gave birth to the earth, and then dinosaurs were born? I mean, it goes without saying, man. God is the author of everything here. Let's continue.
They gave birth to the earth and then dinosaurs were born. Who made up words? Who made up numbers? And what kind of spell is mankind under? Everything on the planet we preserve and candy. Michael.
Everything on the planet we preserve and can it microwave it and try it. No matter what, we'll survive it. What's who? What's man? What's human? Anything along the land, we consuming, eating, deleting, ruin. Now, as I've said before, this guy is like the Pacific Ocean, the Indian and the Caribbean Sea. And them people, them two, two deep brothers. And we can tell you this right now. I will not pretend to even tell you that I understand where his mind was when he penned this. But what I will say is that based on the trend, we're just ruining things. We're always try to do things our way. So everything on the planet we preserve. You want to do things shorthand. You don't want to light the fire and cook the food. You want to microwave it. So you come up with this thing, and then they come back at another time and tell you, hey, don't microwave your food, man. That radiation thing will kill you. And in this line where he's saying, no matter what, we'll survive it. So I guess they're saying, hey, no matter what people are saying, man, we're going to survive it. I don't know, maybe. That's what he's saying. Not sure, like I say. Not sure. I'm just, muddling through this one here. Anything on the land, we consuming, eating, deleting, ruin. Well, that part is a little clear. Because we tend to eat every single thing we can get with hands on. I see some people eating something. I see people eating all live octopus. Sometimes the octopus win, which is not good for the human at that time, because most of the time them end up dead. I see people eating live rat. Let me stop because some people might start to have upset stomach. But we consume things that we're not supposed to consume. At least what God said we're not supposed to be consuming. And then some stuff become extinct and we ruin stuff. And I guess that's where he's at here. Let's go back to up at the top when talk about can it. I'm wondering if he's asking a question as to can it be microwaved, or we're putting things in can when we should be eating it fresh as God intended, because everything about God is about the preservation of life and having things being placed on the earth so that man can live a healthy life. And why I say that, I remember this farmer said, his name is Paul Gauchi. He did a gardening program called Back to Eden. And he said that he transplanted some stuff. And he noticed that the ones that he took out from one place and put somewhere else all got eaten up by insect. And he was disturbed and perplexed about it. And he was talking to God about it. And he said that God told him in his spirit that he wanted everything. God wants everything that grows for the consumption of man to be the best. And so therefore those plants were weak. And he didn't want to have the weak plants being, perpetuated, because man will consume it. And what will happen is that the nutrients that man should get from it, they won't get it. We won't get it. And so we in turn would become weaker and weaker, because the food source will be weaker and weaker. So he sends in insects, worms and whatever, to kill out those weak plants. And when the man explained that to me, I was like, wow. So I got a new look on life. So I'm helping my father-in-law with his garden, backyard garden. And so when I hear him complaining at times about stuff eating down his pumpkins and the tomatoes and stuff like that, I mean, I share the story with him, but I leave it at that, because he decides he must go spray and get rid of them. But in my head, I already hear how that's supposed to go. You leave it, because the plants them weak, But that's just how it is. But yeah, I might sound like I gone off on a tangent, but let me tell you, these guys are deep, and this song, these lyrics that they pen, it goes to the core of man, it goes to the core of life. It brings you to a place where you have to acknowledge God, and you have to acknowledge your purpose here upon this earth. And as I touch your purpose, there's a part where they were talking about the paparazzis, worst paparazzis I've ever known, put the worst on display, and that's all they'll ever show. Damien sang that part, and it brought back to my mind about this journalist who was taking pictures of people migrating from one part of Africa to another part for food, and they were walking for days without food. And he photographed this child who reached like about half mile or a couple meters from where the food was, and just sat down and died. And that man did nothing but photograph that child sitting down there until he died. And sometime after, he killed himself. And the note that he left behind was that he was troubled because he let that child die. All in the name of journalism. You see a human life going, and instead of helping, you decide that you're not going to interfere with what? Nature? Like it's a wild animal in the jungle. You're not going to interfere with nature. You're not going to interfere with the wildlife. It's like that him say. But God troubled him about it to the point where he couldn't take it no more, and him take him own life. So let's not be that, heartless and desensitized to what is happening with our fellow brothers and sisters out there. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean just black people. everybody. All right. I think I'm going to close right here. As I say, lyrics and these guys are very deep and a lot more that can be said. But I have gone almost 50 minutes and I think I should stop right here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you can like, subscribe, and share so that others can be inspired by what was said. All right? Thank you.